Oasis. No one's ever done a video on the internet about Oasis before. I'm the first person to ever do a video on Oasis. I was going to do their album ranking discography, but you know, it's pretty obvious which one's the best. Then there's sort of 2 or 3 others that are really good, and then the rest of it is really bad. So I thought I'd do the singles instead. And so this is just the A-sides, not the B-sides. They've got a lot of really good B-sides from their early years that I could maybe do a video on at another point. So I've got 30 songs in front of me that I got off Wikipedia. One of them is a demo that they put out as a single a few years ago. That doesn't really count. It's kind of near the bottom, as you'd probably expect. The bottom third of this list is just awful. And then the middle is pretty good. And then the top 10 is like some of the best pop rock songs I can think of off the top of my head. So there's not a lot of in between, right? Like, Oasis are either a band that are like making exceptional music or absolute turd. There's no in between. And some albums get better treatment than others because some of them are just awful. Okay, and we're gonna kick it off with a double whammy from Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. At the bottom of my list is Sunday Morning Call, followed pretty swiftly by Who Feels Love. Sunday Morning Call is just an absolute chore, and Who Feels Love is not necessarily as bad, but it's just so boring. It's like 5.5 minutes, nothing happens. Both of these songs also kind of, they got to the top 5 in the charts. Just dreadful songs. And Standing on the Shoulders of Giants is probably their worst album. I used to say Heathen Chemistry because the production's somehow even worse. But no, these are the 2 bottom on the list. And then I suppose we get straight into some hot takes here, because I've got Stop Crying Your Heart Out above those, so at number 28. So that rounds off the bottom 3. I know that this song is obviously one of their most popular tracks on streaming, and it's really, I hate this song so much. It sums up for me what I can't stand about that mid-period of Oasis, and not just that mid-period of Oasis, but that whole early 2000s Travis and Stereophonics, just that music that just kind of ticks along with that kind of just, you know, kind of actually it's the chords, it's like chords to Hotel California in a lot of ways, which I also is one of my least favorite things ever. And then just you get that chord, which is E minor with like a suspended, it's E minor 7th. How many songs did that? I just realised, Stop Crying Your Heart Out, it's the same chords to bloody Air Hostess by Busted. What an absolute disaster. Horrible. Next I've got that Don't Stop demo. I included it just to make sure that I included it. I've got nothing to say about it. It's a little demo with 4 chords. Next on the list, and another bit of a hot take, is Do You Know What I Mean off of Be Here Now. I really like Be Here Now. I actually think it probably would come second from the top in my album ranking if I did one. Underneath, definitely, maybe. But Do You Know What I Mean is probably my least favourite song on the album, and it's a poor choice for a lead-off song. It kind of, in a lot of ways, prefaces a lot of that kind of mid, like, chugging kind of music that I'm talking about that just drives me mental. And also kind of is very similar chord-wise to Wonderwall. I just feel like they went, let's make a rock version of Wonderwall and just slap it on the front of the album with as many references to the Beatles as possible. It feels really cynical and just kind of naff. And similarly with Go Let It Out, which comes in at number 25. So that's all 3 of the Standing on the Shoulders of Giants singles already done and dusted on this list. Go Let It Out is certainly better than Who Feels Love and Sunday Morning Call, but only marginally, really. I like the riff. You know, again, it's just that boom, pace. Oh, why was everything so slow? Why? And we've got some more slow tracks coming up here as well. Little by Little at 24 for me. I know people like this song, and they played it on the reunion tour. I think they did. You know what I mean, on the reunion tour as well. It's just like, you know, I don't know. Could have played Head Shrinker. You could have played Underneath the Sky. You could have played anything. You know, could have played plenty of other songs that come up higher on this list that they didn't play. Anyway, I didn't get a ticket, so I shouldn't complain too much. Let There Be Love is on the list next. I think I put this on here just because I think it's kind of quite experimental compared to some of the other things I've already listed. The little tinkling bells that go through the whole thing, and the production's diabolically bad, but at least they're trying something. The Mellotrons and everything, it's kind of got something going for it. I know there's some Mellotron and Go Let It Out as well. It's not as good though. I'm Out of Time is next on the list as well, 22. This is where things start to get a bit better quality wise, I must say. There's a bit of a jump there. I'm Out of Time is the lowest ranking track here from Dig Out Your Soul, which I think is great. I think it was a huge return to form. Really, really interesting album. They finally did something kind of different. I'm Out of Time is already one of the weakest tracks on the album. Again, a kind of really bland choice for a single. And then I've got Hindu Times here at 21. This is mainly because of how bad the production is. If it sounded better, it'd probably be a few places higher on the list, because it's pretty good, and I like the kind of feel to it that's kind of very glam rock, which is where they're at their best, you know. Even if it does sound a bit like Be Here Now, the title track to Be Here Now. And I've got Songbird at 20. I've got to give Liam Gallagher some credit. He did write a very catchy song here, even if it could have, you know, it was definitely written in about 5 minutes, this tune. It has to have been. But fair enough. It was a cool little respite, considering a lot of the other singles that they were doing were really plodding and boring. To just do a nice little acoustic track, that's what they should have done. That's what they should have done with a lot of those songs. Just a nice little quiet one. And I appreciate the fact that it's 2 minutes long as opposed to like 5.5, which a lot of these songs are. 5.5, 6 minutes. Why? Yeah, anyway. Said enough about songs that go on too long on the Strokes review, didn't I? So anyway, next we've got The Importance of Being Idle, which probably would have been higher again if it wasn't for the fact that it's just a blatant rip-off of Freedom Song by the Lars. It's so blatant. A lot gets made of Noel Gallagher writing songs that are rip-offs. So I don't think enough is made of how much of a rip of Freedom Song this is. And there's another Lars song that does something very similar to that. I can't remember what it's called. Is it Clean Prophet? Shocker. Absolute shocker. Not very good. It's a good... I mean, Importance of Being Idle is a good Oasis song, and I probably like it a little bit more than a few of the others that are coming up next. Number 18 in the list, so 18 out of 30 we are here, and we've got Wonderwall. Now, I've never had an affinity for this song at all. I know that it is their biggest song, isn't it? You know, and I don't get it. I've never got it. I've never got the fascination with Wonderwall at all. I think it's kind of, it is the kind of the patient zero of a lot of what I'm talking about. That very plodding middle of the road thing that doesn't really go anywhere. And yes, I found it very, very holing, the whole thing, after the England matches singing Wonderwall, because it's not a very upbeat song for a start. It's quite downbeat. You could have taken it Live Forever or Don't Look Back in Anger. Yeah, anyway. Next up, I've got Morning Glory, the title track to Morning Glory. Which another thing I find really annoying is the fact that the album is called brackets What's the Story Morning Glory ? And then the song is called Morning Glory with... Surely it should be the other way around. Anyway, this is a really kind of, it's okay. It's compared to a lot of the other tracks that were coming out around about this era. It could have been relegated to a B-side. A lot of their B-sides at this point were much better. What was the B-side to Morning Glory as a single? That's an interesting one. Should we have a look? Was it better than the was it better than the A-side? We're gonna find out. It's Better People, Rocking Chair, and Live Forever Live at Glastonbury. Okay. That's not one of their best ones, is it? That's the Australian CD and cassette single, Japanese CD single, it says. So was it not released as a single here? It just had a music video. Was that the crack? No, it was a single here. So, Anyway, it's just not one of their best ones. We can have a look at some more of their B-sides as we get into the really good one. What was the B-side to Wonderwall as well while we're here? What was the B-side to Wonderwall? Round Our Way, The Swamp Song, and Master Plan. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. How did they get that so wrong? Oh, Jesus. Round Our Way is great. Swamp Song's cool. And then obviously Master Plan is... That's awful. How did they get that so wrong? Anyway, moving on. I've got a non-album single here from 2007. Lord, Don't Slow Me Down. I don't know how many people are aware of this track. I was going through. I remember hearing it ages ago, and I put it on today when I was going through the songs. So this is really good. This is a really cool song. It's that kind of classic 70s Slade meets Status Quo with too much money in the pocket vibe that, you know, Noel Gallagher's very good at. Kind of, I suppose, points a little bit to maybe some of the stuff he did with High Flying Birds a couple albums in. Holy Mountain era. Holy Mountain. Is that what it was called? Was it called Holy Mountain, or I made that up? Fucking bollocks mountain. Anyway, midway through the list, we've got Stand By Me, which actually for all of my proselytizations of an irritant mid-tempo chuggers, I do like Stand By Me quite a lot. I think it's kind of the chord progression, the lift with the strings. I think that's really good. I suppose we're now moving into songs that I think are really quite good here. Next up, we've got Lila, which was this a bit of a divisive song when it came out? I remember seeing the video for it when it came out, and I quite liked it then. I like it more now. I'm surprised they didn't play it on the reunion, to be honest, because it's a good song, and it's a bit of a stomper. I suppose the production on Don't Believe the Truth is very naff, but Lila's a great single, and I like Turn On the Sun? Is that what it's called? The opener? Yeah, I like that tune. Shock of the Lightning is next on my ranking here. As I say, I really like Dig Out Your Soul, and for me, that's a real great tune. And it's really interesting to hear that they're doing something quite sort of experimental, I suppose, at this point, at least by their standards. And this is a really great tune. It really is. I always like listening to this track, and yeah, I think deservedly comes out above some of their perhaps maybe slightly more overrated tunes on this list. Next up, we've got Roll With It at 12. Now, I didn't think I'd put Roll With It this high, but then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, it does. It's got the Slade T-Rex thing coming out of the old wazoo, and actually, it is quite good. For all of the, Roll With It versus Country House stuff. And was it Noel or Liam or both of them saying that they didn't like the tune, they didn't want to play it live or whatever a few years back. But I think it's good. I think it's cool. And then we've got Don't Go Away at number 11. Again, I'm completely regaling on what I've said about the mid-tempo tunes. Don't Go Away is just a great tune. That's just a really, really good song. And Liam's vocals on it are really good. Yeah, I love Don't Go Away, actually. And at 10, I've got All Around the World, which I mainly have here because I just have this deep infatuation with that clip of them rehearsing it in 1992. The actual recorded version of it's not that good, is it? I like the version from the G-Mex as well, the 97 gig, where they're really sweating by the end of that tune. Don't Go Away is good from that gig as well, just totally ragged version of Don't Go Away on that gig. I do like All Around the World, even if it is a completely daft tune. I think if they had recorded it the way that they originally were playing it back in the early 90s, it would probably be top 3 for me. I love the chorus. Getting on to another mid-tempo tune, actually, I got Don't Look Back in Anger at 9. This is, again, this would be a much better tune to sing at the football than Wonderwall, for sure. Like, even with the lift, the imagined chord lift at the beginning, which still, I've heard it a million times and I still wince. I can't believe they did that. But it's a great tune. And as I say, this top 10 bit now that we're into, this is what I'm talking about. And I will always defend Oasis at this point. What are we doing in terms of B-sides on Don't Look Back in Anger? What did they put on the B-side for Don't Look Back in Anger? Let's go and find out. Step Out, Underneath the Sky, and Come On Feel the Noise. Oh, again. I love Underneath the Sky, and I love their version of Come On Feel the Noise. Step Out's great as well. Another another lift. But that's a really great little single, that. I might rank these in terms of B-sides at some point. We'll put them together as like these 90s era Oasis singles featuring B-sides ranking list. I've got a feeling that it's probably going to be similar to the top end of this list anyway. At number 8, and heading up the end of their career, is Falling Down, which is an astonishing tune, actually. Do you know what I mean? It's an incredible tune. Then the remix, I can't remember what it is. It called Androgynous Amorphous or whatever? Falling Down the Psychedelic Bubble or whatever it is. Cobblers, right? That's a great remix, but the original version of it is good enough. Do you know what I mean? They should have made something a little bit more in this vein with the Tomorrow Never Knows drums and everything. Again, I have this thing about Dig Out Your Soul. I think it's so underrated, and I think that it's a shame that they didn't stick it out. I think if they'd stuck it out for one more album, the direction they were going in, the best bits of BDI and the best bits of the first High Flying Birds album together would have been an absolute hoot. Anyway, moving on. Now we're in the kind of the upper echelon. Yeah, I think you can probably guess where we're going with all of these now. All the big ones I've saved until the end. At number 7, I've got Cigarettes and Alcohol. Absolute belter. Oh, the B-sides as well. I Am the Walrus, Listen Up and Fade Away. Ooh. Oh, man. You can see I feel so differently about this era of their songs. Cigarettes and Alcohol, I Am the Walrus, Listen Up and Fade Away on a CD single. I might need to go and get I might need to get these CDs. Or a 12-inch of it. Yeah. 12-inch doesn't have Listen Up on it though. It's only got Walrus and Fade Away. Yeah. Well, that's an absolute belter. I love Cigarettes and Alcohol. That's one of their better lifts. I think a lot of people talk about the fact that they took the Get It On, but that is probably one of the best lifts they ever did because of where they took it with the rest of the song, which is a really great tune. And kind of, I think, probably has as much in common with Ballroom Blitz in terms of its songwriting and its structure as Cigarettes and Alcohol, but that doesn't get mentioned very often. Champagne Supernova I've got next at at number 6 in the ranking. Mainly, I feel like Cigarettes and Alcohol probably is a more resounding single, but Champagne Supernova as a track is just undeniable. Again, one of their really good slow tempo chugger songs that go on for too long. The B-side was just Slide Away, apparently. Interesting. Champagne Supernova is a great tune. You guys all know that. I do love the way that it builds and builds and builds. And next up, number 5, I've got Shaker Maker, which I think's underrated. Not a lot of people love Shaker Maker. I don't think it's an absolute belter. What was on the B side for that? Do You Want to Be a Spaceman, a live 8-track demo, and Bring It On Down live. Alive's a really underrated tune as well. I love the video to Shaker Maker. I think that's their best video, where they're walking around. I think it's just really cool. Really like actually kind of has a lot of the spirit of the band, rather than them pretending to be something they're maybe not, which I think they do in a lot of their videos. Number 4, I've got Whatever, another lift. Another lift of a tune, but again, what they did with it really is quite impressive. And the B-sides for that were It's Good to Be Free, Half the World Away, and Slide Away. Wow. I think that's a sign of where they were going to go, isn't it? It's funny, a lot of those songs don't become obviously well renowned until they put the Master Plan compilation out. Whatever, so again, the strings on Whatever I think is what makes it, but then it's the contrast of the strings with the really overblown Owen Morris production on the guitars and the vocals. It's so blown out. Yeah, I love Whatever. Again, the outro, it's a really good outro. Supersonic I've got at number 3. An amazing opening single. Probably if you were to sum it up, I think it would still come back to Supersonic. I think you could probably, these top 3 are probably tied. It's all about personal preference, isn't it? What were the B-sides to Supersonic? Take Me Away, I'll Believe, and the demo of Columbia. I Will Believe's a great tune as well. I think was Liam playing that on the 20th anniversary tour a couple of years ago. That's a great tune. I love the Supersonic, because obviously that's what all of their other songs were kind of overly demoed and kind of they changed the arrangement. Supersonic was obviously written in about 5 minutes, and it has that immediacy to it that is maybe missing from some of their other singles. Even some of their best singles are missing that kind of straight away immediacy that Supersonic has. And it's really stood the test of time. You know, when you hear bands ripping off Oasis, you know, like when you hear Park Drive, yeah, it comes back to those early tracks, doesn't it? That early Oasis sound. They do sound very good here, it has to be said. At number 2, I've got Live Forever, which is a brilliant song. It had Cloudburst on the B-side. Cloudburst, man. Oh, I do need to talk about these B-sides at some point. I mean, I've spent half the video talking about the sodding B-sides, haven't I? Live Forever is a biblical tune. There you go, I said it. Biblical there. You had that. And I think it's a testament to that, again, that early sound. Because they did a lot of songs that were like Live Forever down the line, and loads of other bands, as I've said, your Travis's and your Stereophonics and Embrace and oh god, there were some awful ones, wasn't there? They've all tried to do songs like Live Forever, and it always just sounds like navel gazing sadness, whereas Live Forever sounds euphoric and brilliant and really kind of just totally timeless at this point. Which means if you've locked in and you know your kudos, whatever, you've got it all worked out, you'll know that I've picked Some Might Say as the number 1 choice. Their first number 1 single. The reason I've gone with Some Might Say as my favourite, it's not... We'll have a look at the B-sides just quickly. Talk Tonight, Acquiesce and Head Shrinker. Have that. Oh. The reason I've picked Some Might Say as their best single, I think, is just their... I think it's not only is it Noel Gallagher's best written pop track, the guitars are tuned slightly sharp. Everything sounds like it's sort of going through the processing and the compression in the best way possible. I think it's Owen Morris's best production job with Oasis. It's the last song they did with Tony McCarroll. It's just this sort of perfect middle ground between all the things that made them great and then before it all the other bad stuff kind of came in. It's this perfect midpoint. And Liam's vocal is probably his best vocal ever. As I say, the guitars sound fantastic. It just sounds like perfection. I can't really say that about a lot of their other songs. I know I've been very critical of them here. I do still really like Oasis. You know, I do still really like Oasis, but this song is absolutely perfect. And yeah, Talk Tonight, Acquiesce and Head Shrinker on the B-side. God damn. That's just... that's absolutely spot on, isn't it? So there you have it. I think you can argue amongst yourselves about your kind of overall placement of the songs. I'm sure there's some people that would probably have, like I also had Morning Glory and Wonderwall quite low on the ranking, and maybe some people would roll with it down and move them up. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that say, actually, you know, I really like Standing on the Shoulder of Giants, which, you know, good for you. It's got Gas Panic's good, and Roll It Over's good, you know. But I suppose we'll close out the video with some open chords played really slowly. Actually, wait, let's do the Oasis version. Every rose has its thorn. Every rose has its thorn. Just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Thank you very much. See you later.